everyone, welcome back to my channel and to another video. In this one we are going to be making some Halloween treat boxes just like this one here, and you can see Shelby's little crochet ghost is living in this one at the moment. You could either put a little gift in it like this, or you can fill it with sweets and give them out to the kids that are coming trick-or-treating around your area this Halloween season. So without any further ado, let's get started. First things first then, let's take a quick look at the project in Design Space that we're going to be using today. And you can see it on the screen now, this is going to be in my profile page. So you're going to be able to find this project really easily. If you don't know how to find a profile, I'll pop a video link above and down below for you that you can just hop onto, and that's just a really short video to show you how to find a profile in Design Space. And what this project consists of is just one cut with this treat box and then whatever design you want to go on the front of it to decorate it with. So this particular treat box is one from Design Space. If you don't have a subscription, it's going to cost you about 89p to obtain this design. I'm going to pop the image code down below for you now for this particular treat box. Just bear in mind that if you do pick it up from Design Space from the image code, rather than going through my profile where I've sized everything for you already, you may need to adjust your sizes because the image comes up on the screen quite small, and that will make you a treat box that is about 4.5 centimeters square. So I have changed my dimensions on this particular design to make it a little bit bigger and to make sure that we can fit lots and lots of treats into our treat bags this Halloween. Now we just need to decide what we want to decorate our treat box with. So I am going to change the colour of this one to be green because I am making the green version. And I think I'm going to use the cat for this one. So let's bring him up and just make him bigger so that he fits on there. I have got 3 colours in this. So let's just move the ghost, the witch and the pumpkin face out the way. So let's just group those together and hide them. Of course you don't have to use the designs that I've got on my project. You can pick out whatever you like for your particular design, and you could do it single-sided, you could do it double-sided, whatever you fancy. I think I might just do mine single-sided and then maybe put a trick or treat or something on it, but again, you don't have to do that if you don't want to. The next thing that is worth mentioning about this particular treat box is, you know how normally we would score to make the folds? With this particular treat box we are using cut lines rather than score lines, so there is no need for any scoring wheel or scoring stylus to be used. You will just probably need to score manually just to ensure that your folds are really nice and crisp, so we don't need to worry too much about that. The size that this is does mean that it needs a longer mat and also a bigger sheet of paper, and the paper that I'm using is some that I picked up from LIDL's last year, and I don't think it will be too long before they have it in stock again. So if you haven't got a big sheet of card, don't worry, you'll probably be able to pick up the packs in LIDL's pretty soon. Alright then, we're ready to go through to make it, and I'm expecting a couple of different prompts to come up which I'll share with you as we go through. So let's go to make it. This is the first one, so it wants to know how I'm going to cut my item. So I am going to click on mat for any material, and then I'm going to try and click on remember this selection, but that doesn't always work. Let's click on confirm, and then I've got another message at the top that says because my treat box is too big, it is going to need a larger mat. If I haven't got one of those, it does give me the option to cancel, but I am using a big mat today. So now we've got 3 mats come up on the screen ready to go. It does put every single item onto the big mat, which is a bit unnecessary. So I'm just going to come to material size and I'm just going to change it to A4 so that then it does put my mat back to the 12 by 12 mat. Let's do that for the black one as well. You don't have to do this, but it's just my preference. And then the big one is here. So as we can see, this piece of card needs to be 33 centimeters and my LIDL's card is 34 centimeters. That is perfect. I'm going to start off actually with this green mat instead of going in order. I am also going to move these 2 items onto that green mat just so that it cuts everything all in one go. And that is just a personal preference of mine, just to make sure that it's all done in one go without me having to insert and set up lots of mats. I can just do everything together. So that's white. So all we need to do is put everything on the mat in the correct places. So let's jump over to the desk and I'll show you what I'm going to do. Right, it's quite difficult to get this whole mat into the frame, but I think I've managed it now. First things first then, what we're going to do is get our green sheet. It looks a bit of a funny colour actually in this light, but it is green, trust me. I'm just going to pop that up in that corner. And then I'm going to give that a good bray so that it is nicely stuck down. Then what I want to do is just move that up a touch here, and then I've got a piece of white here. Now I only need a tiny bit of white in this corner, so what I think I might do is just cut off a little bit from this scrap that I've got here, and I'm just going to pop that in the bottom left, and again that mirrors on my screen where that is. And then this is the black piece that I'm going to be using. You can see I've cut out a pumpkin from this one already, and this is going in the bottom right corner. Again, grab the old brayer and get that nicely stuck down. I am going to pop this into the machine. Okay, that is loaded and ready to go. Now that we've got our machine loaded, all I'm going to do is go back into Design Space. I'm going to go to Continue at the bottom. Design Space has found my machine, as you can see, and now I just need to pick my material. So this card is pretty thick. It is 320 GSM, so it's really thick. The cardstock I'm using at the bottom is about 300. The white is Hobbycraft's 300. So I know for this one I'm going to use poster board. And then I am going to use extra pressure, so I'm going to select more, and then I'm going to go back to the machine and hit go, and it's going to start doing my cut. Alright then, everything is cut, so what we need to do is just remove it from the mat. So normally I would fold back the mat, but in this case I'm just going to take away the additional cardstock from around the design because there's not all that much of it, so it'll be easier to do it this way. Again, just peel that up very carefully. That is the whole piece for the treat box. Then at the top here I've got my two little green pieces for the eyes of my cat. We need to be careful we don't lose those. And then my cat is on this black piece. There he is. And then the other part of his eyes is here. Just got all my bits here. I've got a little bit of a miscut here, as you can see, but it isn't, well, it's not really a miscut, I suppose. It's where the machine hasn't quite cut through all the way. This is a really thick card, as I said, and it did struggle, I think, a little bit. For some reason, that machine that I'm using isn't cutting in the left hand portion of the mat very easily, and it is missing a couple of bits every now and again. Just before we start putting everything together then, we just need to check we've got all of our pieces. So we've got our treat box, we've got our cat, and we've got his eyeball pieces there as well. So as I said before, this does utilise cutting rather than scoring. So as you can see, the machine has made these cut marks on the bottom there as well. I actually quite like this method of doing things rather than using the scoring wheel or the scoring stylus. And all I do then is just grab my ruler and either the scoring stylus or even just the other side of your weeding tool, and I just pop it down like that, and I just want to give it a very light score myself rather than the machine doing it. And if you've got a nice long ruler, it's actually quicker to do it this way than it is to do it on the machine, I find. I'm just going to do that on all of my lines where I'm going to need a fold. There we go. Okay. Next we're going to fold our treat box, so I'm just going to start from that side and work my way in. I am going to fold all of my bottom pieces over as well, even though I'm not putting them together just yet. All my folds done, and then this last one on the end is the tab that's going to fix that together. Right, what we want to do first of all then is make the actual treat box shape. So we want to fold it round so it's into that square shape of a bag, and then what we can do is either put some double-sided tape on here or glue. I'm using glue today, I just prefer a wet glue. It's up to you though, if you want to use tape you 100% can. I'll just leave that to go tacky a little bit and then I will stick that together. I'm just going to put that to one side while I get my cat assembled. Again, I'm going to use wet glue for this as well. If you want to use tape, again, entirely up to you. So I am just going to pop my glue onto there. Then I'm going to get my pick-me-up tool, just pop his big white eyes on. And then I'm going to pop another bit of glue quite close to the inside of his eye so that we can put his green eyes on as well. There. There. That tab should be ready to glue now, so I'm just going to pop that together. Just going to hold that together myself for a couple of seconds just so that gets nicely stuck down. Now that's done, we can put together the base. So what we need to do is put this piece down first, so the big piece down first, then these pieces at the side, and then this last bit slots in there to create that bottom folded section, and that is your treat box more or less done. All you need to do now is pop on your cat to the front, so let's pop a bit of glue on him again. I'm not going to put any on his whiskers. And let's just glue him down in the centre. There we go, and that is ready now for Halloween. So we can put some fun size treats or sweeties, whatever we want to put inside here, and just give these out to the kids that are coming round for Halloween. Just before we finish off today, I just wanted to share with you the sizing comparison between what it comes out like if you were going to use the measurements as the treat box comes up in Design Space compared to with this size that we've just made. So obviously this is the size we've just made, and it's about 8.5 centimeters I think across. So yeah, 8.5 centimeters across, and the whole bag shape is 9 centimeters tall. That does exclude the handles, okay, but this is the size that it would be if you were just using the dimensions as they're set up in Design Space from that image code. And as you can see, it is a heck of a lot smaller. This one measures across just under 5 centimeters, and the height on it again is just, that's dead on 5 centimeters, so it's a lot smaller. So I would definitely recommend changing your sizes, or just use the size that I've used. This is a really good substantial size that you could definitely get a lot of treats in there for the kids for Halloween. But yeah, look at this Diddy one we made, isn't it cool? Enjoyed this video? If you have, don't forget to subscribe and drop me any questions or comments that you've got down below, and I'll see you soon for another one. Bye!